بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. Ameen ya. I welcome you, my respected sisters, to today's class, lesson number 9, chapter 28. I hope everybody is doing well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Ameen ya Rabb. If you are able to hear me clearly, please give me some feedback. To the host, your answers, please write here. And inshallah, we'll start the class very shortly. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So inshallah, we'll be beginning a new chapter today. We are still in the surf morphology, as we know that we are doing the verbs. And I hope everybody's enjoying it and everybody's learning. So verbs are of two types when divided from the point of view of Sahih and Mu'tal, sound and weak verbs. Sound verbs are of three types: Salim, Mahmuz, and Mudaf. What is Salim? Salim is the verb which does not have any letter from the weak letters, whereas Mahmuz is the verb which has got Hamza. Either Hamza is coming in the beginning, like the verb akala, or coming in the middle, sa'ala, or coming in the end, like mala. And then there's a third type of sahih, which is called mudaf, where two letters are repeated in the word. So if you look at shadda, then you see sheen is one letter, and then dal is repeated twice. Swadda, if you see saw, there's one letter, and then dal is repeated twice. So ain kalima and lam kalima are same. And then there are weak verbs. Weak verbs are of three types, and we have been studying weak verbs lately. The first type is mithal. What is mithal? When the first letter of the word is from the weak letter. So either it's waw or it is ya. If it is waw, it is called al-mithal al-wawi. If it is ya, it is called al-mithal ya'i. But if you don't want to remember wawi and ya'i, it's fine. Just remember that this is mithal when the first letter of the word is weak letter. Second thing we have studied in second type is ajwaf. What is ajwaf? Ajwaf is a verb where the middle letter, second root letter, or ain kalima of the verb is one of the weak letters. We have done that already as well. And then we have seen these things, that verbs are divided into different categories according to their haraka, according to their vowel sign on the ain kalima of mudari, of the present tense. So we've seen bab nasara, which is nasara yansuru, daraba, which is daraba yadribu, bab fataha, which is fataha yaftahu, and so on. And we know that in dictionary, you will find the abbreviations like that, AU, AI, AA, and it goes on. We also now know, alhamdulillah, that in many books you will find that they will not write this English. Of course, if it's an Arabic text, then this English will perhaps not be there. And they will not write Bab Nasara as well. In some books, you will find in the bracket Nasara is written, so that gives you an indication that this works belong from the category of Nasara Yansuru, or Daraba is written, so you know it's Daraba Yadribu, or Fataha is written in the bracket, so you know it's from the category of Fataha Yaftahu. However, in some books, you will just find the first letter of the category given. So Noon or Dad or Fa, for example. So if Noon is written, it means it's Bab Nasara Yansuru. If Dad is written, you know it's the category Daraba Yadribu. If Fa is written, you know it's from this Fataha Yaftahu. So this is just to let you know that if you come across these abbreviations along with the verbs or the explanation in the book, so you know what they are referring to. So today we will be dealing with an-naqis. An-naqis. What is naqis? Naqis is a verb in which the last letter of the verb is a weak letter. So if the weak letter comes at the end of the verb, what is that word called? It is called naqis. So today we will see few verbs and the conjugations. Basically, we are learning isnad. Isnad is attaching the pronoun to the verb. This is what we are learning in last. We have learned in few last lesson and in upcoming few lessons as well. So if you look at this verb, ata ya'ti, what kind of verb is that? It is fi'l naqis. Why? Because we see it is ending on this alif in the end, right? An alif, waw, and ya are the weak letters. So this is fi'l naqis. You will find many examples of that. In fact, you will find over 50 times this verb is coming in the Noble Quran. So the benefit of learning this verb in particular is that once you know the meaning of this verb, then it is as if you have memorized 50 words in the Quran or over 50 words in the Quran. Second benefit is when you see this verb coming in the Quran, you should be able to, and you will be able to understand why things are changing. For example, here we have ata, but here we have ya coming with the same word. Here we have ata coming with three letters, hamza, ta, and then this alif. But when you look at this verb, atauka, so there is no alif coming here. Where is the alif gone, right? If you look at this ata here, it is written in this style like a ya. But if you look at the first ayah, the alif is opened up here. It's coming as alif al-mamduda, right? So this will help you to, inshallah, understand the Quran more and more as we are going along the lessons. I hope that your understanding is becoming better and better and better. And as I said to you many times, this is from the Tadabbur Quran. Inshallah, you will be rewarded for that. We all will be rewarded for that, inshallah. We should do the Tadabbur of Quran. Tadabbur of Quran is reciting the Quran, pondering upon the meaning, and Bismillah ta'ala, pondering upon these verbs, and these words will also be the part of the double, because when you are trying to understand this word, why are you doing that? What is your core goal behind it? It is to understand the Quran, isn't it? So I hope these things will get you going. And then there's another word, hada yahdi. It is also naqis. Why? Because look, it is ending on this alif, alif al-maqsura. It is again from the Bab Daraba Yadrib, Hada Yahdi. This one is, you will find that inshallah over 60 times in the Quran. You will see, look here once again, Hada is written the same way as it is written here with Alif Maksura. But in the second ayah, you see the Alif Maksura is not Alif Maksura, rather it's an open Alif. If you look at this ayah, in the third ayah, which is beautiful dua, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahma innaka antal wahhab. So in this ayah, you see this is coming as ya here, right? Although if you look at the Mudari, the Ya was written in this way, but here Ya is written in this way. So what is the reason? It's, if you do that, inshallah, you will understand that. And now if I ask you, what is the word Wahaba? What type is that? Can you not tell me what it is? Sisters, can you tell me Wahaba? Which category of the verb it belongs to? Clearly, it's the not the sound verb. Which verb is that? Mithal, well done. Why? Because the first letter is hurufulillah. If I ask you something again, which is not necessary for you to remember, but if I say which kind of mithal is that, you will immediately say it's mithal wawi, because this verb, this mithal is beginning with the waw and not with the ya, isn't it? So this is beautiful. By learning this, and as we will move forward, you will start learning more and more about the root letters. Root letters are the main letters of the verb or the ism. Even nouns, there are many derivation of the noun. So noun may look like a combination of 5, 6 letters, but at the end of the day, you will find there may be only 3 root letters there, and the rest of the letters are additional letters, and they are adding the meaning to the base meaning, right? I hope you are understanding that, and inshallah, as we go along, we will learn ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul. We've already seen zarf. So from the zarf, we will learn ismul makan. like we've said before as well, sajada means to prostrate. What is the place where you do the sajada? Which is the place? Just simply add meme and become masjid. Masjid is a place where you do prostration, right? It's not the only place, but I'm just telling you that masjid is the khas makan, right? Kataba means the action of writing. He wrote, but what will you say to a person who is writing? Just add alif after the fa kalima, it became katib. Katib is the one who's writing. Qatala means he killed, action of killing. If you just add alif being qaf and ta, qatil. Now you're talking about the one who has done the murder. Right? So I hope you are learning, and inshallah you'll find things very interesting and very useful. So let's start the lesson. So this is 28th lesson. It's a dialogue between the family members. So Ibrahim, ماذا تفعلين يا بنتي? What are you doing, oh my daughter? So the daughter's name is Suad. She's saying, أكوي الثياب التي غسلناها أمسي. I am ironing the clothes that we washed them yesterday. This is a verb, kawa yakwi. On the left-hand side, you can see that kawa yakwi. And of course, this is fil naqis. But why a thiyab has fatha? Who can tell me? Why this word is mansub? It is mansub because it is the object of the verb. I'm ironing the clothes. She's ironing the clothes. Nothing else. Maybe there could be other things which can be ironed, right? But she's ironing the clothes. So this clothes is mafulun bihi. Another question is allati. What's the name of allati? What's the Arabic name for allati? Alladhi. Ismul Mawsul. Very good. But I mentioned two, alladhi and allati. Why alladhi is not being used here? Any reason? Because we know that alladhi is used for masculine, allati is used for feminine. The sign for feminine mostly is ta madbuta. We don't see any ta madbuta here. Is this a mistake? No. Athiyab is the clothes, is the plural. Ghair aqil, when they are in the plural, they are treated as if they are singular feminine. We have studied that long time back. I thought it's a good time to just go through what we have studied before, so at least we know that we are revising and just to jog off our memory again. Alhamdulillah. So she said, I'm ironing the clothes that we washed them yesterday. So Ibrahim is saying, Akawaitil qamis al-abiyada, did you iron the white shirt? Al-abiyada, what is al-abiyada doing in this sentence? We know this is qawaiti is Hamza is Hamza al-Istifham to ask a question. Qawaiti is fi'l and fa'il. Al-qamisa is the mansub, is object, mafulun bi. What is al-abiyada? Al-abiyada is the na'at, white shirt. It could be red shirt, it could be brown shirt, it could be green shirt, right? So al-abiyada is na'at. And how do we know it is na'at? Because it is matching in Arab, it is matching in gender, it is matching in nakira and marifa, it is matching in number, right? So Su'ad is saying, Na'am, kawaituhu. Yes, I ironed it. So which verb is that? Kawa yakwi. And as we can see, it is ending on the weak letter. So this is a weak verb. Which bab is that? Which chapter is that? By looking at AI, what can you say? We are not talking about artificial intelligence here. Why I'm asking is that in the dictionary, you will see like this, you should be able to quickly point that out. And if we do the practice, then we immediately think AI and we know it's daraba yadribu. But if we don't practice enough, then we'll be thinking, what is the A-I? And then we have to open our books or some other resources to actually find out what it is. And this is time consuming, isn't it? So Ibrahim is saying, well, qamis al-akhdara, and the green shirt, once again, al-akhdara is what? Al-akhdara is not. But why wal qamisa? Why there's a sod with the fatha coming here? There's a waw before that. We don't see anything else coming. What made it mansub? There could be two explanations. I think the proper explanation would be that this is harf atf and it is continuation of the sentence. We have studied atf. Atf, the letter waw is to join two words, and the letter waw can also be used as atf to join two sentences. Right? Two sentences can be joined with waw as well, and two words can be joined with waw as well. So basically saying akawaiti al-qamis al-akhdara. So if you want to write in detail the full question, it could be like this. But here it is understood because the conversation is ongoing. So Su'ad is saying, La lam akwihi ba'du. No, I did not iron it. Here it was akwi. Here ya is gone. Yeah, we will see in detail what's happening. سأكويه الآن إن شاء الله. I will iron it now if Allah wills. So Ibrahim is saying, والمناديل أكويتها, and the handkerchiefs, did you iron them? لماذا المناديل? Because of alif lam? Or there's another reason. Could this word have without alif lam tanween? No. Why? Because it is mamnu min as-sarf on the pattern of mafa'ilu. So even if there was no alif lam, you would not see tanween here. So Suad is saying, Ummi kavatha bis sabahi. My mother ironed them this morning. So Ibrahim is saying, Aturidina an taquli li shay'an? Do you want to say something to me? Now, taquli, turidina, it should be taqulina, isn't it? Why noon is gone? Because of this an. This an is what? This an is harf nasb wa masdar. Together it gives a meaning of masdar muawwal. And separately, if we see this an is harf masdari wa nasb, it makes the upcoming mudare mansoob. Hence it was taqulina with the noon. But the noon has been dropped because this is now in mansoob form. With the noon, it would be in marfu form. So Suad is saying, Naam, yes. Inna zamilati Salwa da'atni ila baytiha. Yes, indeed, my classmate Salwa invited me to her house. هذا المساء. دعتني إلى بيتها هذا المساء. Invited me to her house this evening. فأرجو أن تسمح لي. So I request you that request that you allow me بالذهاب إلى بيتها بعد صلاة العصر, that you allow me to go to her house after the Asr prayer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the soul of Sheikh Abdul Rahim. I mean, look how beautifully he's bringing the things we have studied in past, so that we are revising all the times. Once again, Antasmaha is coming. We've already discussed that in the previous slide. Al-Dhahab, what kind of word is Al-Dhahab? Who can tell me? Can you please remind me? Al-Dhahab, what kind of word is that? It's something from Dhahaba Yadhabu, isn't it? But it has got a kasra. Verbs do not accept kasra, and verbs cannot have harjar coming before that like this. What is it? This is masdar from dhahaba yadhabu, dhahab. Remember that, sisters? I hope you do. So she's saying, فَأَرْجُو أَن تَسْمَحَ لِي بِالذَّهَابِ إِلَى بَيْتِهَا بَعْدَ صَلَاةِ الْعَصْرِ. And we've seen that when this word tasmaha is coming, usually we'll see letter ba will also be coming. So I request you that you allow me to go to her house after the Asr prayer. So Ibrahim is saying, اذهبي وارجعي بعد صلاة المغرب. Go and return after the Maghrib prayer. Now here I said, اذهبي, I'm pronouncing E. Here I'm just being silent on this Hamza. وارجعي, I'm not pronouncing any Hamzatul Wasl. Obvious reason, this Hamzatul Wasl is coming in the beginning of the sentence. Here it is coming between the two words. Hence it is not being pronounced. And why there is no noon here? Who can tell me? The actual mudare for one singular feminine is, in this case, tadhhabina, tarji'ina. The noon is gone because of fi'l amr. This is amr, this is command. And when we make the command, the last word, if it is noon, it will be dropped. If it was not a noon, it will have sukun. But if it was the noon of niswa, third person plural feminine, or singular, second person feminine plural, then the noon will stay, right? The noon will be only dropped from amr to make verb majzoom or to make verb mansoob if it was having ya noon and waw noon. If the mudare had a single noon attached to the verb, then that will not be removed. Why? What is the reason? How do we say that in grammatical terms? What is the difference between the two verbs? If I just ask you to give me two words to explain both verbs, what are they? Can anybody try? Very good. The verbs with the plural feminine third person and second person are mabni. They don't change, they stay the way they are, whereas other verbs are mu'rab. This is something we've discussed before as well. So what about madi? Is madi the past tense verbs are mabni or mu'rab? Do they change the haraka in the end or not? If you think they are mabni, please write one. If they are mu'rab, then please type two in the chat box or maybe write in your notebooks. Okay. The people who are saying it is mabni, I would like to ask a question. Dhahaba, for example, is a verb ending on ba with the fatha. But when we go to the third conjugation, it becomes dhahabu, ba has got a dhamma. If it was not changing, how did it change it? Why fatha became dhamma when we came to the third person plural? Dhahabu, katabu, kharaju. It was kharaja, kataba, dhahaba. Very good. It changed just to facilitate the wow. So that changes only for the sake of spelling. Only for the sake of spelling. In the Arab, what will we say? Dhahaba is mabni al-fath. And what about dhahabu? That is also mabni al-fath. But this fatha is muqaddara because at the moment we see dhamma on ba. We don't see any fatha on ba because dhamma is taken over the fatha because of the wow. But it doesn't mean that the Arab of the fi'l madi changed into more from mabni. It did not change because of the Arab. Arab is still mabni. Fi'l madi is still mabni. But now it is mabni on fatha. But now the fatha is muqaddara. We cannot see that, but it is there. Why we cannot see? Because instead of fatha, we are putting dhamma, so to make it easy to pronounce. So Amina is saying, so when Ibrahim said idhabi warji'i ba'da salat al-maghribi, go and return after the Maghrib prayer, Amina is saying, Ya Aba Muhammadin. So it was Su'ad before, now it is Amina, and we assume that Amina is the mother of Su'ad. Ya Aba Muhammadin. Why not Abu Muhammadin? Name is Abu Muhammadin, Muhammad's father, Abu Bakrin, Bakr's father, Abu Zaydin, Zayd's father. Because of the ya, when ya nida will come to a word which is mudaf ilayh, then that word will become mansoob, that will not remain marfu. If there was no ya, it's just written on its own, it would be Abu Muhammadin, and waw would be the alamatul raf. But here alif is the alamatul nasb. Why is that? We usually see that the dhamma is for marfu, fatha is for mansoob, and kasra is for majrur. Why I'm saying alif is the alamatul nasb? Because the kalima, the word abun, father, it is from asma'ul khamsa, those special five nouns. When they become mudaf ilay, the Arab, the alamatul Arab changes. Then the alamatul Arab for mansoob will not be fatha, rather it will be alif, right? I hope everybody remember that full well. Ya Aba Muhammadin, ta'al huna wanzur. Ta'ala huna wanzur. Ta'ala means come here. So let's see the transition. O father of Muhammad, ta'ala, come here. Huna. So huna is for here. And look, wanzur. Nazara yanzuru. Nazara yanzuru. What kind of verb is that? Which category is that? First of all, nazara yanzuru is a sound verb. There's no weak letter in that. Which category it belongs to? Which bab it belongs to? Nazara yanzuru. Nasara yansuru. Very good. Inna Muhammadan yajri ala sullami. Akhsha an yaqa'a. Muhammad is running on the stairs. Jara yajri. Here we can see jara yajri means to run. What kind of verb is that? This is fail naqis because it's ending on weak letter. Inna. This is our inna, favorite inna, inna wa akhwatuha. Inna and his five sisters together, they are six. Ismu inna is always mansoob. So we see Muhammad then is mansoob, but we've also studied khabru inna is always marfu. Where is the khabru inna in this sentence? Inna Muhammadan. Okay, inna is there. Muhammadan is ismu inna. Where is the khabar? Is the khabar mahdoof? You think khabar is omitted? No, khabar is coming as jumla failure. Yajri ala sullami. So this is jumla failure coming as the khabar of inna. So we will say this is a shibul jumla في محل خبر إن. This is a phrase which is sitting in the chair of خبر of إن. في محل means in place of. We, in our language, we use in the chair of. So that's, I think, more easy for us to understand. So this phrase is sitting in the chair of the خبر of إن. So she's saying, Muhammad is running on the stairs. أخشى أن يقع. I'm afraid that he will fall. So which verb is that? خشية يخشى. خشية يخشى. Once again, which type of verb is that? This أخشى, خشية يخشى. This is a naqis because it's ending on weak letter. The meaning is to be afraid of. أن يقع. This is something we've seen before as well, and we're looking into it today. So let's explain that a little bit, not in too much detail. Akhsha is what is the word, and this Hamza is telling us that this is harf al-mudari, which means I, and the transition, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what? We need an object. Where's the object? Where's mafulun bihi? This together, masdar muawwal is mafulun bihi. Masdar muawwal is mafulun bihi. Masdar muawwal can be a fa'il, can also be maf'ulun bihi. We have not seen that. Maf'ulun bihi has its type. Maf'ulun bihi could be sarih, where you could see somebody's name. Maf'ulun bihi could be coming as a damir. We have seen that as well. We don't really need to repeat that. Alhamdulillah, we are coming to the end of this intermediate level of Madinah book. Alhamdulillah. Wa ma tawfiq illa billah. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Maf'ulun bihi can also come as masdar muawwal. This is غير sarih. Sarih means apparent, wadih. You can see that. غير sarih, you cannot just see that straight away. You need to understand that. So an yaqa is maf'ulun bihi. And we have also seen that masdar muawwal is equal to masdar. So if I say uridu an adhaba, I want that I go, or I want to go, could be translated in both ways. So uridu an adhaba, I can say the sentence like that if I want to say I want to go, or I could say uridu dhahaba, I want to go. So dhahaba is what? Dhahaba is masdar and adhaba is masdar muawwal. In the meaning, they both are same. In the meaning, they both are same. So akhsha an yaqa is maf'ulun, is masdar muawwal coming in the place of maf'ulun bihi. I hope it is clear. But this is a topic. Even if it's not clear, just keep listening every time it's coming. You will see that coming in different forms. At one point, inshallah, we'll be able to deal with this topic in much detail. Until then, these are just kind of a teasers. So Ibrahim is now addressing Muhammad. La tajri ya Muhammad. He didn't say la tajri. Why? Because it was naqis, and in naqis, certain things happen which we will see. So la tajri ya Muhammad, don't run, O Muhammad. La is what? Which la is that? La nahiya or la nafiya? La of prohibition or la of negation? La of prohibition. Ta'ala huna, come here. Ma hadha biyaminika. What is in your right hand? You see, this is how you distract children. So you don't just tell them, oh, don't do this, and then they will still keep doing it. And their mind is stuck there and they want to continue to do that because you are trying to just stop them. And this is the nature of the children, actually. In fact, human beings, if something is said, don't do that, we keep doing it. So it's best that you give alternative to children. Oh, don't do that. Oh, what is this? Or what is that? So just take their attention away from that thing. And by doing that, a couple of things will happen. They will not become your disobedient. They will not become their nature that, oh, my parents are saying, or my elders are saying, don't do this, and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it because I like to do that, and I continue doing it. So if they continue doing what you are telling them not to do, then this will become their habit. So this will be one beneficial thing, that if you let them distract from that, you take away their attention to something else, then they're not repeating the action. What are the habits? Habits, what is the habit? Habit is repeating something over and over and over again until it becomes a habit. So if from one action you are doing over and over again, it becomes your habit. Every day after breakfast, if you're having a cup of tea, after a while, as soon as you finish your breakfast, you're looking for the cup of tea because it has become your habit, right? So ma hadha bi yaminik. What is in your right hand? Arini. Show me. These are two words, ra'a, yara, and ara, yuri. There's a little understanding in that, but we will attend that as well, inshallah, in future lessons. Show me. Arini. Irmi hada. Throw this. Rama, yarmi, is the meaning should be to throw. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the brother. He's coming to the end of the book too, and I can understand if some spelling errors are here and there. It's obvious. Rama yarmi means to throw. It doesn't mean to show. It's to throw. So he's saying, throw this. Hada turabun. This is dirt. Yadkhulu Mahmudun. At that point, Mahmud enters. Mahmud says, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Ibrahim says, Wa alaikum assalam. And peace be upon you as well. If somebody says Assalamu alaikum, what do you say? Wa alaikum assalam. You will get reward. How will you increase the reward? By adding just one word, wa rahmatullahi. How will you even increase it more? Wa barakatuh. So even somebody said Assalamu alaikum, you may say Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you are getting rewarded for every time you are adding the word. You just say Wa alaikum assalam, khalas, you will get the reward inshallah for that. But add Wa rahmatullahi, you got more reward. Add wa barakatuh, you got more reward inshallah. جئت اليوم متأخرا يا محمود. You came late today, O Mahmoud. فما السبب? So what is the reason? فما السبب? Fa means so. Ma means what? A sabab is the reason. فما سبب? So what is the reason? So Mahmoud is saying, شكوت اليوم أحد زملائي إلى المدير. Today I complained about one of the classmates to the principal. جئت, we've studied before. Which verb is that, sisters? جئت. Which category of verb it is? I would say to you, I would give you one clue. Hamza is coming in the middle. Today we were revising Fail Sahih and we saw that when Hamza comes in the middle, that verb is called mahmuz. We saw the examples akala, sa'ala, mala, or qara is also the example. So this is mahmuz, right? Who thinks this is sound verb and the category is mahmuz? Please write one. And who thinks it's not right too? Not necessarily that the one who's saying one is correct and two is incorrect. It could be other way around as well. I really, really want you to sit and write this either in the chat box or in your notebooks. Which verb is that? Because apparently it looks like it is mahmuz because Hamza is coming in the middle. Let's have 30 seconds. And please, sisters, don't feel that we are going slow. No, we are not going slow. We are going very, very fast. Alhamdulillah, along the side, we are attending many things coming in the lesson. Every time we are just going back and forth, going back to our past lessons. Jitta is not mahmuz. Jitta is ajwaf. Ajwaf, how? What was originally? It was ja'a yaji'u. Remember that we've done in previous lessons. Ja'a yaji'u. Jim fatha, alif, and then hamza with the fatha. But when we attach the pronoun, the lam kalima of the verb got the sukoon. So jim had a fatha, alif already had a sukoon. Because we are attaching this ta, hamza also got the sukoon. We have iltiqai sakinin. Which word will go? Strong word or weak word? Alif was the weak word, alif deleted, and here we left with jitta. So this is not mahmuz, this is ajwaf. جئت اليوم متأخرا يا محمود. You came late today, O Mahmoud. فما السبب? So what is the reason? Then Muhammad said, today I complained about one of the classmates to the principal. So which kind of word is that? Shakaw, it was shaka yashku, to complain. Shaka yashku. Once again, this is naqis, ending on weak letter. فطلبنا إلى مكتبه. شكوت اليوم أحد زملائي إلى المدير فطلبنا إلى مكتبه للتحقيق. He, this damir is going to who? Whose office? Office of the principal. So he called us to his office للتحقيق, for investigation. حقق يحقق. Ibrahim is saying, لما شكوته? Why did you complain about him? So Mahmoud is saying, لأنه, because لأنه دائما يأخذ كتبي ودفاتري ويطوي أوراقها. Because he always takes my books and my notebooks and fold their papers. What this is mudare. Can you guess what could be the madi? It is not written anywhere on the slide. Yatwi. Just guess. Sometimes guessing is good. Tawa yatwi. Tawa yatwi. Daraba yadrib. What's the meaning of tawa yatwi? To fold. So he's saying, because he always takes my books and my notebooks and fold their pages. So Ibrahim is saying, Ma hadhihi al-halawa allati ma'ak. What are these sweets which you have or are with you? Ahadiyatun hadhihi am ishtaraytaha. Is this a gift or did you buy it? Hamza and When do we use, here it is or given. Here it is Why the translation of or is coming as What, two questions. What is the Arabic equivalent for the word or? We have studied that many times in the past. And when we were doing harf atf, we've done that as well. So this also gives you clue. This also adds the information that aw is the word, means or, and that can be used as atf as well. So in English it's or, but in Arabic it's aw. Why not aw? Because when you are bringing the English word or in the question, then you will not use aw, rather you will use and hamza both will come in the sentence of the question. Your choices, because when you're using or, obviously you're talking about choices. So you have two choices in that situation. Unlike English, your choices, you have to be very careful. Your first choice will go with Hamzat al-Istifham, will come right after that. And second choice will come after So here the choice was, it's a gift or you bought it. So buying or gift, there are two choices. So one is coming with Hamzat al-Istifham, other is coming with Another thing is was with the sukun. Next, we had sheen here with the sukun. So how do we join? If we say hadi and then or if I say hadi ishtaraytaha, then I'm starting a new sentence because I'm pronouncing hamzatul wasl. It means I'm disconnecting from the previous one. That will not make sense if I put a full stop here and then say ishtaraytaha. These two are two separate sentences. Why? How do we resolve this? By putting a kasr. And we've learned that there are different rules when sukun is coming. At some places we will add kasra, some places we will add fatha. Right? Where do we, if there is a noon with the sukun, give me two words, one word where we will put fatha on the instead of the sukun of the noon to join with the next word to continue speaking, or give me another word where we put a kasra under the noon. They both are noon. In some words we put a fatha, in some words we put a kasra. Min and man. With min you put fatha. Min al-Yabani, from Japan. But with man you will put a kasra. Manil ladhi. Right? So try to make note of these things. Inshallah, that will be helpful. So Mahmoud is saying, ishtaraytuha li'annani, ishtaraytuha means I bought. I bought them. لأنني, because أريد أن أدعو ثلاثة من زملائي إلى بيتنا غدا, because I want to invite, or that I invite, 3 of my classmates to our house tomorrow. An and أدعو. An harf mastari wa nasb, and ad'u coming in the mansub form with the fatha, as you can see. So this is masdar al-muawwad. And what role is it playing in Arab? Who can tell me? Uridu means fail and file. So an ad'uwa obviously is maf'ulun bihi, as we've seen before. Masdar muawwal can come as a maf'ulun bihi as well. So in this case, you will underline both words and right underneath it is maf'ulun bihi. Ghadan is the zarf, tomorrow. It's giving you indication of the time. So Ibrahim is saying, Udu'uhum litanawul al-asha'i ba'da ghadin. Invite them for eating the dinner after tomorrow. Here we had alif for ghad. Here we don't have any alif. Meaning is same. Both mean tomorrow. The reason is this alif of tanween only comes when you are putting fathatain. Zaidan, Muhammadan. Hamidan. But if you put kasra because of whatever is coming before that, whatever words are, Hamidin, Muhammadin, Zaidin. So that's why Ba'da Ghadin. فَسَيَكُونُ عَمُّكَ مُوسَى أَيْضًا مَعَنَا إِنْ شَاء اللَّهِ. So your uncle will also be with us if Allah wills. How many words are there in this فَسَيَكُونُ? Who can tell me? It is a combination of different things. 3. Fa means so. Seen is harful istiqbal for the future, and yakunu is the word. So there are 3 things coming in this just one word, and that's the beauty of Arabic language, subhanAllah. And tanawul is tanawala yatanawalu, to eat in a group. And what is the masdar? Tanawulun, tanawulun. So that was the end of the chapter. Now let's go to the comprehension. And for the comprehension, as we have just started doing that since last few lessons, have 2 minutes, go through the text once again, have a quick read, just scan it, and then come back, and then we will see if we are able to remember what was happening in the text. Even if it's in English, is fine for now. Gradually, we will move to the point where we will be able to say or answer these questions straight away in Arabic instead of English. But right now, if only you can just say the gist of it, that what was happening over there, that would be enough. Your time starts now. You have 2 minutes. Okay. So ماذا تفعل سعاد? What is Suad doing? She's ironing the clothes which she washed them yesterday. تقوي الثياب التي غسلتها أمس. You see, now I'll tell you one more thing. If you start answering that in Arabic, that would be very beneficial, because you may feel tempted to just copy paste the answer from there. But if you copy paste, look at it here. The answer, أقوي الثياب التي غسلناها أمس. If you copy paste it, you will make a mistake, because here, over there in the text, Suad was answering her dad. So she was saying, Akwi, I am ironing. Here, you are being asked the question, Mada taf'alu Su'ad? What Su'ad is doing? You can't say Akwi thiyab. It means you are ironing. The question is about what is Su'ad doing? So you will change that Hamzatul Qat over there here, which is for I, into her, third person. Ta. Takwi thiyab allati ghasalatha. Once again, ghasalat, because you're talking about her, so you will change the damair. So changing the damair also requires you to understand the verb, and which kind of verb is that. If it's a sound verb, if it's a weak verb, from which category of verb it belongs. And now you've learned, alhamdulillah, mithal and ajwaf, and very soon you will be done with naqis as well. So then you will be able to know which word will stay there, which word will go, what changes would happen. And this will, you will only understand, inshallah, when you will do a lot of work. If you answer these questions, if you are trying to write other things, you see any English sentence and try to translate it, the best is, some may say, if I translate, how would I know if it's correct or not? That's a fair point. Go to the text, just open the text from the resource back, look at the English translation, make the Arabic, and then verify it with your text of the book. Okay, what I have translated in English from English to Arabic, is it how it appears in the book? I hope you're getting that. Man kawal manadila, who ironed the handkerchiefs? Ummu Suada kawatil manadila. Mother of Suad ironed the handkerchiefs. ما اسم الزميلة التي دعت سعاد إلى بيتها? What is the name of the classmate who invited Suad to her home? اسمها Salwa. Her name is Salwa. Now, أسمح لها أبوها بالذهاب إلى بيتها? Did her father allow her to go to her house? نعم سمح لها أبوها. Yes, her father allowed her or permitted her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the soul of Sheikh Abdul Rahim. Look how many pronouns are coming here in one sentence. You need to be very careful what you are writing. You're writing a correct type of pronoun. You are using the pronoun where you're supposed to use. If you're using the pronoun, would there be harf jar coming with that or not? So this is something you will learn a lot if you do the comprehensions, inshallah. إلى من شكا محمد زميله? To whom Mahmoud complained about his classmate. شكاه إلى المدير. He complained about him to the principal. لما اشترى محمود الحلوى? Why did Mahmoud buy sweets? So we don't have an answer for that, because he wanted to invite his friends, right? And this is the second exercise. Basically, these are the examples of the verbs which are mu'talul lam. In other words, which are weak verbs where the lam kalima of the word consists of a weak letter. So we are looking at two abwabs here. Kawa yakwi, masha yamshi, Jara yajri, Rama yarmi means to throw, Baka yabki means to weep, and they are from Bab Daraba yadribu. And then there's another set of verbs given here, Da'a yad'u, to invite or to call upon, Shaka yashku, to complain, Tala yatlu, to recite. You see, tilawa comes from this word. Maha yamhu, to erase, Afa ya'fu, to forgive. It's from Bab Nasara yansuru. The word afa will come with an. Afa will come with an. Okay. So now today we will see the word baka yabki, which is a naqis from the category of daraba yadribu. So I hope everybody is ready. So if you compare the regular verbs, the madi, with the madi of naqis on the pattern of daraba yadribu, you will see few changes. Let's quickly scan through this and then we will move forward. Dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu, all three letters are there. What's happening here? Baka, ba, kaf, and alif, alif maksura. But when you come to the plural, here we get three letters, dhahabu, zal, ha, and ba. Here, ba, kaf. Where is this alif gone? It became bakao, two letters. Same thing. For dhahaba here, dhahabat, all three letters. Aminatu, bakat. Where is this alif gone? Hunna, for third person feminine, plural was dhahabina. All three letters were there. Dal, ha, ba. What happened here? There are three letters here because noon is the dhamir. Sorry, noon is the indication of the plurality of the female. But ba and kaf, we already know ba and kaf. Where is this ya coming from? Bakaina, we thought it is baka. Where is this ya coming from? Some places it is missing. Some places it's changing. What's happening? Let's see. So this is Madi of the regular verb, and this is the Madi of Baka. Fail Naqis goes through quite many changes. You see, alone in Madi, it is going through 4 changes. So when you are attaching the pronoun, different things are happening at different levels, means different things are happening at the attachment of different pronouns. Remember that we've been saying this since very long time, that when you see alif in the past tense verb, it is never asl. It is either waw or ya, and it has, because of some sarfi reasons, because of some morphologic reasons, it has changed. There could be one reason, could be just the ease in pronunciation, but there could be possibly other reasons as well. Wallahu alam. So let's see what happens. What was baka originally? Baka was baka ya. You see, it was ya. Ba fatha, ka fatha, ya fatha. Because you know all the verbs are on the pattern of what? Fa'ala. Original pattern is fa'ala. Everything is there. So when we look at madi, dhahaba, kharaja, kataba, akala, sa'ala, all are on the pattern of what? Fa, ain, and lam. Fa, fatha, ain, fatha, lam, fatha. All three letters have got fatha in the madi. It's the default condition. It does not change. So here it was like that. Ba fatha, ka fatha, ya fatha. But then it changed into baka. Ya changed into this alif. Ya changed this. So it became baka. Instead of baka ya, it became baka. So this is the first change. So from the start, it has changed. It became baka. When you attach the pronoun for the musanna dual, what happened? Baka ya. Look at this number 2 and read what is happening here. The original lam kalima reappears. What was the original lam kalima? Was the ya. Lam kalima, original lam kalima ya reappeared here. The alif is gone, which was there in the first form. Now it is no more there. It became bakaya, and the result is bakaya, as you can see here. Don't say to yourself why these changes are happening. I've explained some I'll explain inshallah further, but to understand the true logic, true reasoning, true mechanics behind that, we really need to study surf, sisters, because we cannot open the surf book while we are doing the Nahwa book. Surf is a detailed subject, very brief, very brief. Nahwa is very large in terms of the content. You've got so many things in grammar. You've been doing 2 books. Surf, perhaps you will finish the thickness of book one's half book, maybe less than half. You will be done with the whole topic of surf. But it's like a mathematics. So many things needs to learn. So when you are doing surf, you need to do a lot of practice. Just listening and understanding is not enough. You need to do a lot of practice, and sometimes you have to do memorization as well, right? So don't worry about it if you can't really 100% get something that why this happened. Just remember this has happened. I told you before, if you have difficulty digesting what's happening here, then simply memorize the conjugations for different verbs like naqis. This is the conjugation. If it's ajwab, this is how you will, like we've done with the laysa. See, so we have memorized laysa when we were doing zahaba. Zahaba and laysa are very different. They change from sixth onward. But if you memorize it, then you don't need to worry about it, what changes are happening. Because we knew about the changes of laysa at later point. First time in the lesson, we didn't know why laysa is becoming lasta. Where's the ya going? But as our understanding developed, we were able to understand what is happening. So same is the case here, so don't worry about it. Why I'm telling you over and over again this thing, because I understand, I've been through this, that, it just, you want to understand everything in one go. Eventually you overwhelm yourself. You're not able to understand because your level of understanding had not reached certain level. You have not understood certain tools, and you were trying to understand how this thing was made, and you didn't know how to or what are the tools and how to operate them. How will you reach the answer if you don't know the tools, or if you don't know how to operate them? So at the moment, just take the answers. Tools will come inshallah in future, and inshallah we will have one book of the Sarf as well, Bismillah ta'ala. And we'll try to do one book for Imla, which is for dictation, writing, spelling rules, inshallah. So here it became the Lam Kalima reappeared, it became Bakia. Now, if you look at this one, for example, this, I would suggest you don't look at this one, and the expansion I'm going to tell you is a straightforward expansion. That will be better. But if you want to see in your own time, have a look at it. I'll just read it once, but then I'll tell you what explanation should you take, and that will be a straightforward thing because we are not going through the detail. Here it is written, Bakia, which is the original thing. Bakia is there, and you edit Wawul Jama because Zahabu, Katabu, you are doing for home. Home means you're talking about third person plural. So you will come with Waw. And this Waw, this alif is always alif farika. So this is just written as a spelling rule. So they are saying Bakia is there, you added Waw. And what they are saying, the original Lam Kalima dropped. But if you look at this particular word, in my understanding, few steps are missing here. Missing because perhaps they didn't want you to get confused. So simply they said one thing, drop the lam kalima, and then you become answer is the bakau. But you may ask yourself, here, ya had a fatha. When they're asking to drop it, it has got a dhamma. what happened? Is the printing mistake? Why fatha is becoming dhamma? And then what is the reason for us deleting it? Why are we deleting it? I would request you don't go through that. Just come back to this verb, look at the third person singular form baka, and add waw and alif. When you will add waw and alif, what's going to happen? This baka, this is alif, right? And then you are having waw with the sukoon and then the alif. Now this is iltaqai sakin, and this waw of the jama, if you put in front of this alif, you will see that this waw has the sukoon and this alif already has a sukoon. So it's iltiqai sakinain. Now, when iltiqai sakinain happens, we will learn today something new, inshallah. In past, we have seen we delete the weak letter and keep the strong letter. Here, alif is the weak letter, and this waw, which is wawul jama, is the weak letter. Which one would you drop? What do you think, sisters? Alif or waw? Or you will just toss a coin, subhanallah. No, you will drop alif. But why am I choosing to drop alif and not waw? Why I'm not saying baka? That's the reason. If I say baka, then this is not correct. Why? Because what is this waw doing here? This waw or this waw, same waw, zahabu, katabu. This waw is representing wawul jama'a. This is telling us that this is the waw of the plural. If I drop this waw and I'm left with ba, kaf, and alif, baka, where is my sense of telling that this is about the plural? I'm talking about the plurals. So, but if I leave this wawul jama, then any reader will know that this wawul jama alif farqa is after that. So this is for jama, this is for the plural. So this fail of baka is attached to the pronoun which is for the plural, hence it is connected with home. Home bakau. So once again, without going into this detail, I'll tell you one thing what to do. How did we reach bakau? We had ba, kaf, and alif without haraka. We added waw and alif to that. Waw had a sukoon, alif had the sukoon. We deleted alif because we cannot delete wawul jama. This is the part of the pronoun. This is not a part of the verb. So we have deleted that alif, and the result will become bakau, hum bakau. And then for here, what's going to happen for here? We had ba, kaf, and alif originally, right? Like this here. So this is the alif. But we know that this alif can only be written when you are writing it, when it is coming in the end. If you want to join with some other word, you can't write ta like this. This is not the correct way of writing. You have to open it. You say baka, baka, and then you write ta, because this alif can come in the end, this alif can come in the beginning, but this alif al-maqsura cannot come in the middle of the word. It must come at the end of the word. So when I use the word end, then how can I attach something? If it's ended, then ta is separate. And this ta is the damir muttasil. I must have to attach it. There is no way I can attach these two together. So for understanding, I'll open it. If I'm thinking, okay, I'll open it and write it. So I opened it without thinking anything else. But when I opened it, I found out that alif has the sukoon, as we can see here. And this is tau tanith. This is also at sukoon. So now I have a problem of iltiqai sakin and our old friend. But this here, we have to delete one letter. But here it's simple. We will choose which one is the weak letter. We deleted alif and it became bakat. So baka, bakaya, bakau, bakat, bakata, bakaina, bakaita, bakaituma, bakaitum, bakaiti, bakaituma, bakaitunna, bakaitu, bakaina. And if you say, where is this ya coming from? So we've already seen that this ya already reappeared at the second stage, and then we had to delete it because of iltiqai sakinan. So it was there, but it kept getting deleted because of the attachments. But from the point onwards, hunna, we don't have any problem, and we've continued with the ya because this ya had the sukoon. There's no issue with that. So it said bakaina, bakaita, bakaituma, but this ya basically is the original ya. See, this is the one, bakaya. So if you add bakaya and you add noon and make this ya sakin, there's no problem. There's no iltiqai sakin, and so you can carry on like you do with dhahaba, this word dhahaba, dhahabta, dhahabtuma, dhahabtun, dhahab, dhahabta, dhahabna, dhahabta, dhahabtuma, dhahabtum. You carry on doing it, right? So I hope it is clear, sisters. This is all the other words on this pattern, few of them. So here's the example of baka, bana. Bana means to construct, to make something, and ata means, we have seen ata yati, to come. So I hope this is clear. I know it was a little bit detailed thing, and few things we have done and few things we have skipped. I'll try to explain that if we get the time towards the end of the chapter, not towards the end of the lesson, like we've done last time, that in the end we came with the surf explanation, the morphological explanation, that what happened to what word. We will try to do that, inshallah, at the end of this chapter. So now move forward to Mudari. We have reached the end of our lesson time, and we have got few things, but inshallah we'll be able to do that. Bear with me, sisters, I apologize for that, but these things requires, I think, explanation. Is not fair for me or for you to just gloss over and just give you this final result and say just memorize it, this is how it is, khalas, you don't need to know anything else. We are adults here, right? If it's for children, then you may say just memorize it, and then maybe when they will grow up they will understand what was the reason behind it. But us, it's better that we understand and we memorize as well. Here is the regular verb. So what we are going to do on this slide is we're going to compare the isnad of naqis verb from the category of daraba yadribu. Compare means will compare it with the regular verb, and then we'll compare with the naqis. So this is our regular verb. You know how this works. Yadhabu, yadhabani, yadhabuna, tadhabu, tadhabani. And it goes on. What will happen in the marfu form? So when we come to number 5, we find that the way we read this verb is baka yabki. But yabki is not the original. It was yabkiyu. Yabkiyu. Originally, it was yabkiyu. And I think I don't need to really explain that. You understand that. Look, dhahaba yadhhabu. Dhahaba at the fatha. What happened to ba? Ba became with the dhamma. What was the original here? The original before it became baka was bakiya. So ya got the dhamma. So here same thing is happening. Ya is getting a dhamma, and this ya in the beginning is from huruf al mudari. This is there just to prove that this is a present tense. So originally it was yabkiyu, but it became yabki. Why it became yabki? We have studied that because of the thickle. Remember when we have done the Arab taqdiri, we understood the reasons why Arab is taqdiri on some verbs. When we spoke about the alif, that alif maksura does not hold any haraka. What is the reason? The reason is ta'azzur, impossibility. You can't say alif, you can't write alif and put a dhamma on that. How are you even going to pronounce? Can anybody pronounce alif with the dhamma? What will you do? You will have to add wow if you put a dhamma, because wow will always have a dhamma before that. You will say, how will say, oh, even if you say oh after putting dhamma on alif, the wow sound is coming. Where is this coming from if it's not written? So that tells us alif will not be able to accept any haraka. And the reason for that is called, what we have learned was called at-ta'azzur. So it's ta'azzur is an uzr, it's an excuse. You can't really do that. But if what was the other reason? There was thickle. Thickle used to come, we have seen it comes on the verbs where the last letter has got, where the wow, if the verb is ending on wow and there's a dhamma on there, or there's a ya and the dhamma on there. So if wow, we usually see wow has got a sukun and dhamma is before that. So maybe you say yad'u, ain with the dhamma and waw with the sukun. But if I put dhamma on waw as well, it becomes uduwu, uduwu, so difficult. And if I have the word ya written there and I put a dhamma on ya, will be difficult. Like here, yabikiyu, we know the phonetics. The kasra takes the sound down and dhamma moves the sound around. Yabikiyu is difficult. Instead, it's simple to say yabki, right? So that's why yabkiyu changed into yabki. So what happened was dhamma on the lam kalima dropped in the marfu form at the first point of mudar. It became yabki. For the second one, we simply added alif and nun like we do for yadhaba. Yabkiyani. No issues at all. Here comes number 6, yabukuna. Why it became yabukuna? Because there are a couple of changes. If you see before, if you just look at the previous one before, it was yabkiyani. So originally it was yabki. Why yabki? Kasra on the kaf had gone into dam. Let's not go into this detail. Instead of that, just think as we thought before. If you have yadhhabu, what do? You add waw and nun. Yadhhabu you add waw, there's no problem because you're adding waw and before waw there's a dhamma. They go hand in hand. You have waw, you should have dhamma before. You cannot have kasara. Same is the reason. Your result was this yab ki, and then waw with the sukun. This waw of the yadhabuna is also having sukun and known as a fatah. Yab kivna is not a correct thing because before the waw, you must have sukun, you cannot have kasra. So you can't say yab kibna, cannot have kasra followed by waw, so it was changed the must. So leave all those steps for now and just think about it. You had yabkiyani, yabki, you had a verb like you have yadhabani, yadhaba is the verb. So what do? You added alif and noon. Like this, you made yabkiyani by adding alif and noon. What did you for verb dhahaba when it came to whom? You had yadhabu with the dhamma, you added waw and noon. Here, because you do not have kaf with the dhamma, originally you have kaf with the kasra, yabki, and you are adding waw and noon. For the waw, the rule is you must have dhamma before that. So you simply change this kasra into dhamma and it became yabkuna. Stick with this and try to memorize this. Hopefully you will be good without going into the detail of that. Then it's tabki, then it's simple. It was yabki for third person male, for third person feminine. What we say, we add ta, tabki, tabkiyani, yabkina. Then it's simple. It's just going in the same direction. Why here we don't have any problem for hunna? Because yabki was our original word here. Yabki. We simply added noon of niswa to that yabkina. No problem with the pronunciation, so there's no changing happening. So all of this is going straightforward. Every time you see yellow dot, this is it is showing that it is on this pattern. This is the explanation for that. Every time you will see number 6 here and there's a green color and then green color is coming here. You see tabkuna, where this come from? Go back to yabkuna, read the explanation here and apply it on this one. In this scenario, I would say that the explanation given here, if you don't want to go through that, the explanation, you want to go through what I said, just think of that explanation and put it on this one and the result will be same. Because effectively, the only difference between the two is the change in harful mudare, ya, and the rest of the things will remain same. Coming to number 7. So when we had verb dhahaba yadhabu, we say tadhhabina, tadhhabina. What's going to happen here? You have original word tabkiyu. Once again, you are going haywire here. Don't worry about anything. Simply come to this yabki. You had marfu form yabki, ya, ba, kaf, and ya. You have a verb yabki. What do you do for second person feminine? You add ya and noon. So when you had yabki, tabki, sorry, look at this one. You had tabki. What happened here was you had two yas. In yabki, or look at tabki, ya has sukun. So when you are joining ya and noon for second person singular feminine, your ya and noon, ya has got a sukun, and this verb was already ending on the ya with the sukun, so there was iltiqai sakinin. So when two sukun met, you have to delete one ya. Now, you see, now this is another learning. You have two yas, and you have to delete one ya. One may say, why bother which ya I'm deleting? Just delete one, that's enough. But what will you do if you get a question in the weekly test or in some exam that, okay, in this situation, which ya will go? So if you are using the word tabki and adding second person singular feminine, obviously you add ya and noon. So are you deleting ya from ya and noon, or are you deleting ya from tabki? So you will say, I'm deleting ya from the verb, which is from tabki, and I'm keeping ya and noon intact, because this ya and noon is pointing towards the fact that this is about singular feminine in front of me. Where will this actually makes a difference? When you will make it mansub, this ya will be still there, and you will know that this ya is the reason that's telling you it's about second person singular feminine. If at that time you found out that you've already deleted that ya, then the tabki you were leaving with, you are remaining with in case of mansub or madzum, that is the tabki from this verb, is for anta. I hope you're getting that, sisters. I don't want to repeat that because I'll just make you confused. If and the class will get elongated, we are already past our time. So just understand, when you will add ya and noon with anti, you have tabki and you have ya and noon from anti, you will simply delete the ya of the verb and you will keep ya and noon of anti with the verb attached in the marfu form. Obviously, for mansub and majzoom, you will delete the noon as per routine. So this was mudari. If you look at the mudari from the same verbs, now there are two more verbs added: yabki, yabni, yabti. That's for your practice and your understanding as well. One more thing: when this ata yati is there, yeah. So for example, baka yabki is there. If you want to talk about yourself, you say abki. Like for zahaba yadhabu, you said adhabu. But what will happen with this when you will use this for yourself, this verb, this will become one hamza will come for your fail mudare from anit, harful mudare, and one hamza is already there. Ata yati, yati. Now they're becoming two hamzas, and this is the jerk coming. So to make it easy, we've studied before. What do? We make them one letter and add mad and say ati. So ana ati no, ana ati no, ana ati, ana ati. But for nahnu nati with the jerk because there's no problem here. There are no two hamza. But for ana, because of harful mudari is adding to this ati, we have to say ati. We have to elongate it. I hope it is clear. Then majzoom. How do we make it majzoom? So if we have la nahiya, lamul amr, lama, usually what we used to do was you will just simply add dhamma. Sorry, you will remove the dhamma and add the sukun. So in case of yadhabu, it will become yadhab. In case of yaf'alu, it will become yaf'al. What will happen here? It's straightforward. What you will do is you will simply delete the last letter in all of these ones because only. So the regular verbs where you will put dhamma, where you will put sukun instead of dhamma, delete the dhamma in all of those verb forms, you will simply delete the last letter. So yabki was like yaf'alu. In yaf'alu, you put a sukun, make yaf'al. But here already sukun was there. Interesting, isn't it? Look how scientific it is. Yabki, original word, if you see yabki at the top here, yabki, ya is sukun, kaf is kasra. If there's a sukun, and you make majzoom by putting sukun, how are you going to add sukun up to sukun, double sukun? It doesn't work this way. So you will simply delete the last letters. So the lam kalima will be dropped to make the word majzoom, in this case, yabki, tabki, tabki, and then abki and nabki. For the rest, when you actually had alif noon and vav noon, simply you will delete the noon. And what we were saying earlier about tadhhabina look tabki, you see what I was explaining you before, that which ya are you going to drop? So this ya, which has got sukoon, is basically the ya of anti, ya and noon. If you had deleted this ya before, then you would end up here with with the black color ya, and the black color ya would have denoted that is the ya of the verb. So what happened? How will you say it is about one singular feminine in front of you? I hope it is clear. So remember, observe the changes. The changes are that the last letter of the verb will be deleted if you're making majzoom in case of 5 verb forms. For huwa, hiya, anta, ana, and nahnu. How will you make failul amr? How will you make imperative verb? So we know how do we do in the regular verbs. We simply delete the harful mudare and we put sukoon on the last letter. So taf'alu, we will remove the ta and then we will put sukoon on the lam. And if fa kalima has got a sukoon, then we will come up with hamzatul wasl so we can pronounce it. But if fa kalima already had a haraka, then we didn't have a problem, like we have seen the case of qala yaqulu. When we add from taqulu, when we took the ta off, then we don't have to put alif before that, hamzatul wasl before that, because qaf already had a haraka. You see, so you didn't have a problem. But here it is the verb like dhahaba and yadhabu. You have a word tabki. As we know, imperative is made for second person, right? In front of you. So it was tabki originally. How will you do it? You remove the ta from ta of the harful mudare and you put sukoon on the last letter, but there's already a sukoon. So what you're going to do? You deleted ta as per routine. You wanted to put sukoon on the last letter. There's already a sukoon. So the rule is that you delete this letter. You are left with ba with the sukoon and kaf with the kasra. From the verb, only 2 letters are left. So what are you going to do? You can't pronounce it. So you will simply add hamzatul wasl, say ibki, ibkiya, ibku, ibkiyi, ibki, ibkiya, ibkina. See, I hope it is clear, because we have done this kind of things many times in previous lessons. There's no point really to go through a lots and lots of detail of that. One very important thing here, important observation is that in this particular verb, at 2 points, you will see the verb looks same. So anti tabkina, this is the result, what we have seen previously. And for antunna, how do you make antunna? Very simple, you simply add nunun niswa to the already existing verb. What did we do for dhahaba? Tadhabu, we had tadhabu. What did we do? We added noon of niswa, and it became antunna. What is going to happening here? Same thing. Tabkina, we simply added noon of niswa. There's no issues with that. We had tabki, we added noon of niswa, it became tabkina. Sorry, for anti, for one singular person. And for hunna, antunna, sorry, all you females present, you also added noon. But the thing is, they both look same. The spelling for anti form of the marfu verb for baka, yabki, or any words on this pattern, and the verb form for antunna. In other words, for you singular one female, and for you all female plural, it's same spelling. So what you have to do is you just have to look at the context of the sentence to understand that this verb is referring to one female which is present in front of you, or it is referring to many females present in front of you. So you can see that in the question, right? So this is how it is. Anti tamshina, antuna tamshina, same. But the question will tell you. If the question is about if you are asking one single person, then you are writing tamshina. But here tamshina is for plural. How do you know? You look at the context that you akhawati, so you know that this tamshina is referring to the plurals and not singular, right? I hope it is clear. This is the whole chart of what we have done. All the changes are given here. So this is something good, inshallah, for you to have a one glance review where you could just see in one glance and you can revise whatever you've done. This is exercise number 3. And this is asking you to ponder over the example, then write the present tense for the verbs given here. So you have madi given here. One example is given here, baka. And what is the marfu? Yabki. We already studied that. In asl it was yabkiyu, but it became yabki. This is something you don't have to worry about this, because when you usually see verbs, you know, madi and mudari, they come together written for you, especially in this course. So you know baka yab. You don't have to think, oh baka, what will be the mudari form? Either yabki will be written, or you will have a code written that which bab it is from. So if dad is written or daraba is written after baka, you receive in your resource pack or your notes somewhere, then you know this baka is baka yabki, because you have got the reference for the category, which category it is coming from. And then we've already seen how to make mazzoom. We make mazzoom by deleting the last letter, because when you're using la or lam, you don't delete harful mudari. You simply put a sukoon on the last letter, because here already sukoon is there. So we have learned, which is written here, the lam kalima of nakis verb is deleted in mazzoom and imperative form. So you simply delete the last one, it'll become lam yabki, lam yamshi, lam yakwi. So all of this one, all of these verbs, simply it will be deleted. For ibki, baka yabki, from yabki, it was basically tabki, because you issue command to third person. So what did you do? We already learned that it is given here on the left hand side. You remove ta of mudare, and then you deleted the last letter, because you had to put a sukoon in order for you to make it imperative, but there was already a sukoon, so you deleted that. The result was ibki. So all of these verbs in your book are given without answer. You have to just write. So masha, kawa, jara, it's best that you know the meaning as well. So write the past tense meaning, and then do the present tense, and then do the majzoom, and then do the amr. So I would request you, I hope you've understood that. Go through your resource pack, go through your notes once you receive it, inshallah, and then open the book and solve this exercise in your notebook without looking at the answers. Once you are done, then come back and look at the answers, because they're different verbs. Inshallah, it will be much more helpful for you if you do the practice like that. I have planned this as a class live exercise, but we are really out of time now. So I'll just send this to you, inshallah, in your resource pack, and you'll be able to see that. I was hoping that we will have time and you will be able to think or write in your notebook, and then we will see the answers, what are coming. So off the class and within the class, you will have the opportunity to practice, but we are out of time now. So if there's nothing else, we'll end the class. Recap is today we've started doing Failun Naqis. In Failun Naqis, we studied the text, we did the comprehension, and then we attended the verb Baka Yabki, and we saw how Baka Yabki was, what was this original, what changes does it go through in comparison with the regular verb in Madi, in Mudare, in Amr, and in Madzum form. I hope class was useful. Apologies for a little bit elongation of the class, but as you can see that. So if there's nothing else, it says we will end the class. Jazakumullah khair for coming. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.